It started like any other heated political day in Washington, D.C., until Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, better known as AOC, dropped a political bomb that sent shockwaves through the entire nation. In a fiery speech outside the Capitol, AOC stood before reporters, her voice firm, her tone sharp. "This is not just about politics," she said. "It's about the dangerous rise of fascism in America. And people like Karoline Leavitt are fueling it." Within minutes, social media exploded. Hashtags like hashtag #AOCVSLeavitt and hashtag fascism files began trending across X, Instagram, and YouTube. The tension between two powerful women, one a progressive Democrat, the other a rising conservative star, was about to reach a boiling point. But no one, not even AOC's harshest critics, could have predicted what would happen next. Because soon after her accusation, AOC did something that would shake Washington to its core. Before the storm hit, Karoline Leavitt had been gaining attention as one of the youngest and most vocal figures in conservative politics. At just 27, she had already worked in the Trump White House, served as a spokesperson for MAGA causes, and was now rumored to be eyeing a future Senate run. Her message was simple: America needs strong borders, strong families, and fearless leadership. Her supporters saw her as the future of the Republican Party. But to her opponents, especially AOC and progressives, she represented something far darker. The new face of far-right nationalism. Political talk shows lit up with debates. Some called AOC's accusation reckless. Others claimed she was finally saying what many in Washington were too afraid to admit. Then came the turning point. AOC tweeted just 3 words that set off a firestorm. "Check the files." Those 3 words would change everything. The next morning, at exactly 9 a.m., AOC's office released a statement, confirming that declassified FBI documents were about to be made public, files allegedly connecting Karoline Leavitt to a network of far-right organizations, previously investigated for extremist activities. Reporters scrambled for details. Cable news went into overdrive. What did these files actually show? When the documents dropped, the headlines were explosive. FBI monitored group linked to Leavitt campaign. Extremist donors funded events tied to Leavitt network. Online chats reveal coded language between aides and far-right activists. According to the files, several political events organized by Leavitt's team had been financially backed by groups under investigation for spreading extremist propaganda online. There was no proof that Leavitt herself was directly involved, but the connections were enough to set Washington ablaze. Leavitt immediately went on the defensive. "This is a witch hunt," she declared on Fox News. "AOC is weaponizing federal documents for political gain. These so-called files prove nothing except the corruption of our system." But by then, the damage had been done. Within hours, Leavitt's political allies began distancing themselves. Campaign donors paused their contributions. One of her closest advisors resigned. Meanwhile, AOC stood by her words, saying, "Accountability is not an attack. When leaders flirt with extremism, the people deserve to know." The battle spilled onto every platform. YouTube commentators dissected every detail. TikTok creators posted breakdowns of the FBI files. Twitter turned into a war zone, with conservatives calling AOC power-hungry and liberals calling Leavitt exposed. But then, the story took another twist. An independent journalist revealed that the FBI had actually opened its investigation years before Leavitt entered politics, but that her campaign had unknowingly hired a public relations firm with ties to one of those groups. So, was Karoline Leavitt guilty of extremism, or just guilty of poor judgment? That question divided America right down the middle. The days turned into weeks. The pressure on Karoline Leavitt mounted. Her approval ratings collapsed. Sponsors pulled out of her speaking events. Finally, she announced a temporary suspension of her campaign to clear her name and protect her family. AOC, meanwhile, faced her own backlash. Critics accused her of exploiting classified material and damaging political discourse. But for her supporters, she had done what few dared to do: call out extremism at the highest levels of power. In her final public statement on the matter, AOC said, "This isn't about left versus right. It's about democracy versus dictatorship. And if that fight makes people uncomfortable, good. Karoline Leavitt, once hailed as the future of conservative politics, had seen her career unravel almost overnight. Whether she was truly guilty or simply caught in the crossfire of political warfare remains a matter of opinion. But one thing was certain. In the age of social media and instant outrage, one accusation, one leak, or one set of files can end a career faster than any election ever could.